Once again, good day. I am Archie Ruiz of BPED EP33, and this is the Article 2, Assessment Schemes in Senior High School in Philippines Basic Education. Article 2. The Philippines has recently embarked on an educational reform in improving curriculum and spreading the number of years of learning from 10 years to 13 years. This reform is nationally implemented through passage of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 or RA 10533. The Act institutionalized the implementation of the K-12 education program in the Philippines. The K-12 covers kindergarten and 12 years of basic education. This 12 years is divided into three levels, which are 6 years of primary education, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school. In addition, the K-12 program aims to produce graduates who are holistically developed, equipped with 21st century skills, and prepared for higher education and middle-level skills development, employment, and entrepreneurship. This aim is mostly carried out by one silent feature of the program, which is the senior high school that includes grade 11 and 12. In the senior high school core curriculum, there are 15 core subjects which will be have to taken by student irrespective of the track they are in. These core subjects are distributed to 8 core learning areas, such as there are 16 track subjects, 7 contextualized subjects, and 9 specialization subjects, which total of 31 subjects. Each student will have to earn a senior high school diploma. The student will take the subjects in 4 semesters. Given the additional years of senior high school and new features of basic education program, it is important to report on the opportunities on different levels of assessment that can be conducted in order to ensure quality implementation. By reporting on the levels of assessment in senior high school, policy makers, curriculum developers, teachers, and school administrators can start to develop and implement better assessment as an integral part of the curriculum programs in schools and within education at a national level. There is also a greater call for looking at assessment within a multi-level approach to monitoring learning outcomes at the local, national, and international levels, according to WHO 2022. Looking at the senior high school as a traditional lead to the Philippines basic education, there are assessment processes that will take on a different approach given the age of students and the system of implementing the HSH. At the same time, some assessments that were implemented in the previous years can be adopted and moved within the duration of the SHS. Assessment in the K-12 curriculum. Several reports that dealt with different kinds of classroom assessment in the K-12. The report of Magno and Lizarda 2015 described and explained the important features of formative assessment when used with instruction. The study came up with 9 assessment principles that explain both theory and practice in the conduct of formative assessment inside the classroom. The study of Trey, Esquimeth, and Allen 2012 emphasized that those crucial elements which remain result in a description of the classroom assessment task that involves the student deeply, with both in terms of cognitive complexity and intrinsic interest, and are meant to develop or evaluate skills and abilities that have value beyond the assessment itself. On the other hand, assessment has salient and crucial contribution to the operation and implementation and success of the curriculum emphasized by Miker 2010. Through documenting the kinds of assessment that can be conducted in senior high school, the teachers can further develop better functions and purposes of assessment. This will contribute to the successful conduct of classroom assessment, which will ultimately result success in the implementation of senior high school subjects and the K-12 curriculum as a whole. Teachers are also better able to implement classroom assessment if they are equipped with assessment literacy, which entails understanding the appropriate use of classroom assessment. Assessment and the senior high school. The Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 spells out the features of the K-12 program in terms of the goals, intentions, outcomes, curriculum, and learning areas. These features needs to ensure that students improve better over time where the necessary 21st century outcomes are achieved by the students that includes college employment readiness. Assessment takes an important role to ensure that students have developed the 21st century skills. Assessment in the K-12 becomes more functional where it is seen as an integral part of contributing to student learning. In addition, the senior high school levels and basic education provides several pathways on making assessment functional. The present report specifies assessment opportunities in senior high schools in order to better realize appropriate instruction for learners and better scaffolding students' learning in the classroom and national level. The level of assessment in senior high school described in this report is seen as an array covering assessment in an individual level, classroom level, and a larger scale such as the national and international arena. These assessment levels range from entry-level assessment, classroom level, and national level assessments, and international level. Number 1. The placement of students in the senior high school tracks. The students entering the senior high school has gone through a year in the curriculum where the learning areas are spiraled within 11 years, including the language and literacy, mathematics, science, and social studies and history, technology and livelihood education, music, arts, physical education, and health. And on the other hand, the senior high school is structured rather, where the learning areas or subjects change every semester or trimester in some schools. The combination of cognitive capacity, aptitude, and interest are appropriate indicators in the entry-level assessment in senior high school. The cognitive capacities of the students in the core learning areas are directly give information on the specific strengths and weaknesses at the end of grade 10. The grade 10 is the last level before entering the senior high school, and assessment of recent competencies provides an accurate basis of what students has mastered over time in terms of the common core capacities such as the language, mathematics, and science. The combination of cognitive capacity, aptitude, and interest are appropriate indicators in the entry-level assessment in senior high school. The cognitive capacities of the students in the core learning areas directly give information on the specific strengths and weaknesses at the end of grade 10. The grade 10 is the last level before entering a senior high school assessment. Average competencies provides an accurate basis of what students has mastered over time in terms of common core capacities. Here are the table 1, which is the excuse me, the factors of achievement, aptitude, and interest of each senior high school track. As we can see in the table 1, the tracks and the indicators such as the achievement, aptitude, and interest. Number 2, The classroom-based assessment. The accountability of the classroom-based assessment is directed to the quality of instruction and how it's supervised in the school setting. Instruction greatly accounts for students' performance when assessment results are reported within the classroom level. Even when accountability of assessment result is high at this level, the impact of intervention is more visible. Hence, the purposes of formative assessment are also cross-tabulated with the kind of assessment that is done before, during, and after instruction. This shows that formative assessment is closely integrated with instruction where it is used as a tool to observe student progress. Furthermore, summative assessment is conducted when the students have mastered the required competencies. The results of summative assessments are commonly included as part of students' marking. Summative assessment provides information on how well the students have achieved the learning competences that has been shaped through formative assessment and instructional interventions. Number three, the assessment of achieved competencies. The standard competencies learned by students can be assessed using national exams or summative assessments at the end of the school cycle. The national exam is the standard curriculum that is agreed and common for all schools. It is necessary to have a set of national standards in order to have common direction on what to teach in schools. National assessment, the government of a country usually administers national assessment through its Ministry of Education. According to Kellogg and Crane 2001, that national assessments measure and monitor learning outcomes of a whole educational system or defined part of educational system. Standards-based assessments or the SBA. The practice involves comparing each student's performance to academic standards that are developed in the national or international setting. The goals are communicated to the school systems, schools, teachers, and students that need to be achieved, providing targets for teaching and learning, and shaping the performance based of the teachers and students. National assessments are commonly standards based because the content domains involved the assessment are based on the competencies included in the curriculum. Number four, the participation in international benchmarking of competencies. International benchmarking are those kind of assessment participated by different countries within a specific region that shares some commonalities in education standards or learning competencies and specific learning outcomes. Number five is the college readiness assessment, which is it is essential to nurture a college readiness framework in order to share with basic education the expectations of higher learning systems from pre-university education. If the expectations of the college education are provided, the curriculum in the K 12 will be able to be well aligned with the advanced studies. College applicants will be better prepared for college given the set of expectations developed in basic education. The college readiness framework with a set of specific competencies for different subjects allows basic education to conform with international standards. Number six, career assessment. Another area of assessment opportunity for a senior high school is on career assessment. Career assessment is conducted as a part of career counseling or career guidance before students graduate in a basic education program. Career assessment can be both quantitative and qualitative according to Macon, Payton, and Watson 2003. Quantitative assessment involves the use of psychometrics and standardized tools where quantitative results are interpreted on the dominant career suitable to the test taker. Likewise, this approach quantifies the characteristics as set of factors. On the other hand, qualitative assessment uses a constructivist approach, focuses on the understanding of clients' personal meaning, where they make sense of their experiences over time. Meanwhile, the transition that occurs from grade school to senior high school is supported as the students are empowered in the tracks of their choice. Some devices used for qualitative career assessment would be used of card sorts, genograms, and lifelines, according to Niemeyer and Niemeyer 1993. Career assessment can be conducted as a school-based assessment through the guidance program or part of National Career Assessment Program. This process often involves self-awareness and self-exploration of skills, abilities, and interests, understanding the requirement of the program that students intend to enter, and supporting students in their decision-making skills. It is based on the BPED Order Number 41 Series of 2015. The aim of Enhanced Basic Education Program is to develop holistic learners with 21st century skills. The addition of 2 years in high school provides more time and opportunity for students to develop the necessary learning competencies to be ready for their career paths. During grade 11 and 12, classroom-based assessment of achievement and the international benchmarking help students to acquire the necessary competencies that need to be learned. And that's all for the article number 3, which is all about assessment schemes in senior high school in the Philippines, basic education.